Pinnacle. We're at Pinnacle. We've got the terrible ship. We have the
Ji-hoon is taking a saw to it as we speak, trying to cut stuff off of it so that it will actually fly.
I can tell that they've done a lot of work on getting this thing to be presentable because the metal has paint on it. Like, it hasn't worn completely away to silver on 90% of it. Or they repainted, or they painted individual pieces as we're going, but they don't have enough paint to go around. You were trying to plot out the benefits and stuff to the jump, and then I had a final. I think we left it with me saying I need to talk to my daughter.
Right. Yep.
I think I had a picture of her over in the text. Don't think I ever explained that was the picture. I think I just dropped.
What was the red-haired girl?
Yeah, that was it. I need to scroll back up far enough to actually get. Yeah, there we go. First of all, striking looking, but also kind of has that like sort of black outfit, but it's not quite the circle of embers, ember circle, whatever it is. It's not quite that, but it's very close to that. And I think that's kind of like she's like sort of like, somebody who gets sent to the nunnery but isn't going to be a nun. She's just sort of there as a lay person, so she's like sort of part of it and influenced by it and kind of has to dress to blend in but isn't really one of them. So she's got a bit of the sister vibe of the ember vibe, but not without being actually that. I think once I wrap her up, we can be on our merry way. I don't think we have another scene to worry about really with anybody else. Again, the basic idea being that I did basically a favor for the circle of embers to like sort out that stuff at Providence Station, and as a result they kind of talked her into saying yes to seeing me a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Not at all awkward, not at all forced and difficult. Should we give her a couple of like traits or something so you have something to bounce off of? Let's get into that. Oracles for characters, probably even a name here, that'd be good. No, not gonna. Well, you know what? Actually, I take that right back. I'm gonna stick with Cole. She looks like a Cole.
Okay, first name Cole.
Cole, yeah.
Okay.
Desperate. I'm gonna mix that up and throw in. I'm gonna throw in one extra thing here just to see. Desperate and unfriendly. Great. Love that for me.
And is her last name Nazari or not?
That's a real good question.
And are we keeping desperate and unfriendly, or just unfriendly?
Let's say that it's let's say 50-50. If the number's high, then it's Nazari. No.
Okay, that's another button in.
Yeah. All right. Let's get a name in here. Duvall. Old Duvall. I think the question is desperate for what?
Well, I could come up with some stuff.
Yeah, but I don't have a lot of skin in the game here, except for I might try to like establish her as a contact just so I can work on her long term to try to establish that bond. But I really that's not. I mean, that's a whole. There's really just a scene. I wonder if character goal. I want to look at character goal and see if there's like some of these are real. You know what? I'll roll and just if it's kind of meh. Seize power. I don't know.
Okay.
Let's leave that one off in the background if it is there. Or maybe it's local. Maybe it's just in this relationship coming in saying I want to, I feel like I'm on my back foot because he's just showing up and I don't know what's going on, so I'm going to be a dick.
And what is it that you just say you want to have her establish tact?
Well, what I'm doing is I've got something that I've been meaning to talk to her about. I want to give her this information. There's no strings attached or anything like that. Thinking that I'll do the role to establish the contact as sort of a oracle in terms of how it ultimately went. Not how it goes, but how it went. Like in hindsight, she walks away at least somewhat receptive to additional conversations. This is a long game thing. Okay. This is Orpheus in the underworld. If you actually turn around and look and acknowledge the thing, the girl is gone. I gotta take this so easy. So
all right, I got a journal started for her.
Okay.
The question that I have is she your daughter or just your daughter?
She and my partner, I would say that I used leverage to allow the two of us to get a kid in, get our get like a sort of an incubation chamber. I'm going to say this is not But at really as a because my partner wanted that. I wasn't. It was really more about almost a peacekeeping measure than anything else.
This is the dad didn't want a puppy, now we have a puppy kind of thing.
Kind of. It was just like it was an olive branch to do that, but then it also turned into a whole fucking thing with the Circle of Embers because they're supposed to be in charge of that kind of stuff, and I kind of did something illegal, but also I'm kind of somebody who gets away with doing shit that's illegal sometimes.
Yeah, you didn't do something that was illegal. You just did something that wasn't according to their usual way of doing it.
Yes, exactly. And then, due to circumstances, kind of had to turn around and then have them take care of her in the creche because my partner wasn't available and I was not going to give up the Ironsworn. And that left us in the situation where I'm sort of like the divorced dad who comes in for like you know
I definitely have some dialogue in mind for that part.
Meetings through childhood, that kind of thing. But I'm just not around. Never been around very much. You think that, and it's fine if she thinks this. You think the read is like I'm trying to establish some connection for myself. Like I've got these regrets. I want to be her dad. Now that's not what this is. It definitely reads like that, and it's fine to go that way. But that's not what this is. Which will hopefully is the whole point of getting to this. Okay, so I'm probably in like sort of a waiting chamber kind of a thing, some kind of visiting chamber. I'm sure they have something for that. Like they're with the sister, but the family wants to visit, so I'm in one of those awkward visitation lounges.
Yeah. Not quite like the prison thing with the glass, but it's also kind of not that either.
Did you ever watch Severance?
No.
Okay. There's a bit in there where like one of the guys like meets his outside business wife, his wife to who he's married when he's not at work, and technically who he's married to when he's at work, but he doesn't have any memory of it. And they meet as like complete strangers, but they meet in kind of like a conjugal visit, but it's like a corporate conjugal visit thing. So they're mostly on these incredibly awkward like conversation couches from the 70s kind of thing. It's a mess. But yeah, I something like that where it's just like theoretically a place where you can have like a nice cozy conversation, but it's in no way cozy or conversational because it's really not meant to be. And then I think that I in my mind, in Quintin's mind, the reason for that is because they don't actually want it to be comfortable for anybody to like reconnect to these people that they're taking care of. Like they're putting subtle, deniable, you're being a little paranoid blocks in the way of anybody forming a bond with these kids stronger than what the bond is with the circle.
Right. It's like having deeply uncomfortable chairs in the nursing home. They really don't want you to hang around.
Kind of. Yeah. I think it's very much like that for sure. Anyway, so that's kind of where things are at with that. So I'm only sitting on the edge of the couch and I immediately stand as she comes in.
The door hisses open and you hear a voice in the background. A 7-minute visit timer has been initiated. Do not exceed timed visit amount. Comes in and the door's shut. Well, I must admit, I thought I was being gaslit once again because I looked at the calendar and it wasn't my birthday, and yet here you are.
Yes. Is it really only? I come more often than just the birthday, I think.
Not really. No. Yeah. Pretty much birthdays, and that's only on like leap years mostly. But
that's certainly
good to see you, Dad. And then she runs forward and gives you a uncharacteristically warm hug.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice. Yes.
I heard you have a very important mission and that you're a big man on station all of a sudden.
Oh no, I'm actually in a great deal of trouble. There is a mission. We didn't get word of it right away, so it involves space flight in something that I wouldn't entirely call space worthy. It could be important. I don't want to say too much, but there's some possibility of I just glanced at the ceiling, just a little bit of this, and the whole through line of this is they're probably listening. Fuck it, they probably already know.
Right.
So,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, they're not going to get any more information out of me because they certainly probably know more about what's going on with this than I do. Well, there's been some fluctuations to the balefire barriers, and we apparently people believe that we ought to be able to get to the next sector over and reestablish a connection there. And I've been asked to be one of the crew on one of the ships that they're sending. Oh, but it's not goodbye.
That's
I think it.
interesting. I heard that you were the leader of this expedition, as particular.
Oh,
In fact, as the Ironsworn representative, that you were supposed to be the leader of the entire thing.
yes, yeah. We didn't get word of that, and as it turns out, the other ships have already taken off. So we'll be playing a little bit of catch up coming in from behind. And I won't be the captain at all. There's another Ironsworn on the ship with me, so we'll share that responsibility. And certainly there will be pilots, navigators, and sort of thing who are experts in what they do. I'm
Well,
simply
I
there.
heard that other Ironsworn is just an engineer, though. Certainly he's going to spend more of his time plotting charts and staring at his computer than he will actually leading.
I don't think that anybody who lives on the space station would ever use the phrase just an engineer. He's an incredibly skilled and intelligent individual. I mean, he was brought into this, and one of the reasons, I was certainly the other one, but one of the reasons we were delayed was because he was in the middle of a pearl dive on Sirocco. He's hardly a lesser member of the organization. He's quite
he's an engineer and he's crazy. Now this makes much more sense why you're involved. In any case, I was just curious as the leader of this expedition and certainly the most powerful Ironsworn around, and certainly someone who probably has a lot of info thing. You certainly wouldn't want to undertake this mission without an Ember representative. Someone who really might be quite interested, quite desperate perhaps even, to get the fuck out of here.
As much as I might like to do a favor for the Circle of Embers, I believe that they probably have representatives on most of the ships. And are you an Ember?
That you said that all of the other ships do have Ember representatives except for yours for some reason. And they were like, who could we possibly send? All of our great representatives are already used up. And I said, I don't know. And then suddenly the doorbell rang, and there you were. I assumed that's why you were here.
I wasn't under the impression that if I was visiting you, I would be visiting an Ember representative. I thought you were simply staying here as their guest. I didn't believe that you were a member of the organization. I was coming to you.
Well, it turns out the organization sort of has to have me be a member in order for me to get anything around here other than 3 meals and place to sleep. So I sort of am a adjunct member, as you might say, the kind of person that might be a representative on a ship that was fairly held it together.
I mean, that certainly describes a ship that I'm familiar with. I would say that if there's anything that you feel you need that I could help with, I could certainly. I mean, the sisterhood may be withholding, but I'm certainly willing to help in whatever way. I have friends here who can also help. I can give you names. I don't. This actually goes to what I was hoping to talk about. Why I actually came. It wasn't to ask you.
She looks deeply disappointed and is giving you the, come on, we have a thing we need to do here. Do the thing.
I guess this begins with a question, just a simple question. What has the sisterhood told you about your mother?
She takes a deep breath, realizes that she's not going to get the easy answer of, yes, you can be my Ember representative on the ship and I can get out of here. Takes it and kind of twirls about and posts herself up onto the kind of like little kitchenette counter thing in this little room. Well, I suppose she said that she was an extremely important and extremely busy woman. A woman who is so important, in fact, that I ended up with her name instead. Unlike most of the space tradition. A woman who was very insistent that I exist, but not so interested in anything past my existence. That's pretty much what I've been told.
That certainly makes a certain amount of sense. I understand why that would have been what you were told. And I kind of come forward because she's posted up there, and I'll pull this that deeply foxed and fuzzed on the edges kind of cardstock kind of photo out. And this is hard because this is like Bilbo setting down the One Ring. Like I'm giving this thing up. So there's this very precisely kind of but just I kind of set that down and just put 2 fingers on it and just managed to push it across just a little bit. That right there is When you were conceived and you were still in vitro, I and my partner decided to celebrate. I suggested that my partner and I celebrate with a trip away from Pinnacle before the serious situation of raising a child reared its head to the point where it could not be ignored. One last fling, if you like. That was what I said. I also had an assignment as a member of the Iron Sworn. Didn't mention that at the time. That assignment went very, very poorly. And in the midst of that, my partner was killed. As a result, I was left with I made an additional poor choice, I think, in retrospect. Leave you with the sister. I don't ask forgiveness of any of that, but it's important to me that you know as much as you can about your parents.
She looks really surprised to hear you say that her mother is dead. Because she has absolutely been told that no, she's busy and off and like thinking about the galaxy and doing stuff and a very important woman and all this stuff and blah, blah, blah. And I mean, she looks like significantly traumatized.
So this is a picture, obviously, of a young man, not in the photo, probably maybe 7 or 8 years older than she is now, because we were in our 20s. Red hair like hers, amazing beard. This is Magnus Duval. The sisterhood will take any child, and it's important that we have our children, that sort of thing. But they had objections. Probably my DNA would have been paired up with some other random person if I'd been put myself back into the gene pool, and I managed to pull a few strings so that I got to pick my partner, so to speak. And then my partner died because I decided I couldn't stop being an Iron Sworn long enough. He was a good man. He was a smart man. He should have been smart enough to stay away from me, and he wasn't. And if you look him up in the records of Pinnacle, you'll find a great deal about him that you would never have seen before, obviously, because they wouldn't have mentioned that. I understand why they probably told that story, because they like their traditional partnerships.
She seems far less traumatized by the fact that her other parent is also a man.
Yeah,
the fact that he's dead.
I wouldn't imagine.
She still was like, wait a minute, dead. Yeah, because she really had been told that it was her other parent was not dead.
Right.
And so she is like significantly freaking out.
I apologize that this is a shock in many ways, and I don't ask for anything from you. I came here to give you, I came here to give you that. I've kept that picture with me for a long time, and I think it should be yours.
1 minute till visit end.
Because of that, I need you to understand why I can't say yes to taking you with me just yet. I couldn't bear the thought of it if anything happened.
She leans forward. And she's like, her jaw is like clamped shut, because you can tell that she's trying not to like,
just lock down,
not to like have it like just like, she's trying not to cry like super hard. She leans forward. She told me I have one being able to remain on the outside.
Okay, so
otherwise I have to be all the way in, all the way out. I need you to. And then she's like,
okay,
wow, this is a lot. I don't know exactly how to process it all. It seems like a weird time to tell me this.
It's a very unusual time. I'll be honest, I've been thinking of trying to arrange this meeting for some time, and I needed to get enough of a bargaining chip to be able to bring this sort of thing. I want to roll to see how it is going, because it could be that in order to lock it in, I've got to do more. In which case, maybe I'll make a very bad decision. When you search on a new relationship, focusing. Oh, that one hurts me. It hurts me.
Yeah, it hurts you.
Have
a 9 too.
I do have momentum though.
Yeah,
which I think
that's probably wise.
Yeah, burn momentum even for a weak hit. Because let me see, with on a miss, you don't make a connection and the situation worsens. Pay the price. I don't love that. On a weak hit, you create the connection, but this connection comes with a complication or a cost. Well,
I think we knew that was going to happen.
I think that's probably where things go to. And the fact that this just takes the wind out of me and I burn my momentum certainly makes sense to me. So I'm going to burn my momentum.
Because she just got a bunch of news she didn't expect, but then so did you.
Yeah, 100%. So I'm going to do that burn the momentum for a weak hit. Comes with a complication or cost. Envision what they reveal, and I think this is we just kind of had this. This entirely fits in. Okay, so the thing that I'm pondering is if she's a connection, having her along on the ship is kind of weird because you can kind of leverage that a bunch. I would just have to remember not to do that, or I pick her up as a companion or something, so
Right.
that it makes a little bit more sense. But I gotta get enough XP to get her to actually do that. Or I go and pull some strings to get her into something here, and we do that. Because
She looks like very, very like she'll do whatever to get out of here at this point. Like you can
Okay.
tell. I mean, the desperation around her eyes.
Because she doesn't want to
is-
be in the sisterhood, and I support the not in the
Yeah,
sisterhood
she
part.
really, really doesn't want to be in the sisterhood, and at the same time, she really, really has no other choice. And I think what you are finally suddenly realizing as you look at her is this girl is about to reach her age of majority, and you had no idea that much time.
Yeah. Okay. This is really good, by the way. Thank you. This is like absolutely fucking gut punches. Just we're working the spleen tonight. I think we need to work on the spleen and the kidneys. So, okay.
30 seconds till visit in.
All right. All right. Let them know you're all the way out. I'll half an hour. I'll meet you outside with whatever you have in your bags, and we'll do the needful.
She swallows and she looks into your eyes and she like grabs your chin just a little. Make sure that because you keep looking away.
Yeah.
And she's like looking straight at you and she's just trying to make sure you're really, really serious. And the door hisses open and there's 3 women in black standing outside. She walks up to them and you can see in the picture that we have for her, I don't know if you're showing that at all, but
I can get up. Yeah.
she's got this like kind of snaky necklace on.
Oh yeah, I see it. Sure.
And she reaches up and picks that necklace up off, and you can see it moves kind of on a super creepy way. And she lifts it up and hands it to one of the 3 women, and then just takes a hard right outside the room. And the women are just like gobsmacked.
Sister Marissa.
And Iron Sworn.
Thank you for allowing me the visit. I think it's gone much better than I had hoped.
They look like just I mean, they're not even angry because they literally had no conception that this could be a possibility of things that happen.
Sure.
And so they're literally just more like stunned. And so they're literally just kind of standing there, almost like jaws on the ground. And she's holding this like snake necklace, which you can see is like an Ouroboros thing, but it's not joined at the end. But it looks like it's only got like one link before it.
Yeah. So it's almost like a torque.
Yeah, it's like a torque, and it's you can see links have been added over time, and she just is kind of holding it in her hand, and she looks at you and is like, "Where will you go?
Where will I go? Oh, I'm sure you're as familiar with my mission as I am, if not more so. Where will she go? I'm going to do my very best to make sure that that's up to her. It's the very least.
And they're just like blank stares. They have no idea how to respond to this.
Which is entirely fine. If you excuse me, though, I do have to make a few calls while I wait for my daughter to come out. Least I can do as one of her fathers.
And they just sort of like watch you head
As I
towards the
get,
exit.
excuse me,
Yeah.
sister. I'm not doing that, but I really want to. All right. All right. I'm going to. Okay, first of all, I've been playing for a bit. Do you have stuff that you want to have your guy working on, or did you already
he's
do
doing all
gather stuff?
sciencey stuff. Yeah, he's doing
and
his
this
plotting.
turned into a bit of a thing now, which I'm blaming you for entirely.
Yes,
because it's more complicated. Okay, so let me get over here to my connections here, and I got to add a connection here. She's going to be formidable, I think.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to take a little bit of work. Butter.
But I do think that you've got the advantage of her being desperate has already sort of like cracked open a door that might have been hard to open.
Do you think it should be dangerous instead, or should I leave it at formidable?
No, I think it should be formidable, but maybe you mark off 2 towards it already.
There's a couple of things you could do in here that you could say under the develop your relationship things, between giving them something of worth, like getting them out of there, and sharing a profound moment. That's easily enough to look at that and go, yeah, there's your 2 hash marks there. You've already done a couple of things.
Exactly.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do I'm going to quick call up. I feel like I've been keeping track of her. I'm only there on birthdays and stuff like that, but as much as I can get information on the sisterhood, I've probably looked at like sort of where her interests are, where her talents are, all that kind of thing over the years. I'm going to do a little gather information thing here.
And maybe you've had like video calls with her and stuff more than just on her birthdays, but
sure.
Like the sisterhood is pretty protective, and so they probably were the ones that were more gatekeeping physical visits than you were.
I may not even have this information because they may have been kind of withholding about it, but I'm going to take a shot at it here. I'll take that 6 though.
Yeah, that's a weak hit though because of that 9.
It's weak hit because of the 9, but I'm perfectly happy with that. So on the weak hit with the gather information, the information provides new insight, but also complicates the quest. Envision what you discover. Take +1 on momentum. So that's fine. Provides new insight. So what I'm looking for is, what is she good at? Because what I'd like to do, ideally, is not have her come. But if I can get her to go, if she's like, hey, she's an engineer, I can talk to Tinker and say, set her up somewhere, get her in an internship somewhere, get her in an apprenticeship somewhere, slap her in there, put her in grease monkey coveralls, I don't care, or give her to
Jihoon.
Tycoon, and have her be like a damn personal assistant or something like that. The Devil Wears Prada, except, angry auntie kind of thing, where she's in that kind of something. But okay, so going back to the oracles, we didn't look at oops, no, I didn't mean to close that. We didn't look at character role, so I'm wondering where her
These oracles, man, I tell you.
Are you fucking kidding me with this?
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Prophet.
I love it.
So the notations then in this are that she's got a gift.
And that's really why they don't want to get rid of her or let her out. Right? That's really why they were like trying to close the deal here. And that's why every time you'd petitioned for a visit in the last 6 months, it had been some procedural thing or another thrown up in your way that you had to have your leverage to get in.
First of all, that's so goddamn good. And Christ, it makes things difficult for me.
I think you're going to have to take her. Now, mechanically, she can just be like,
she can just be there, and I'm not going to use her
there in the cabin for now. And
I got to keep a throttle on how much I'm actually rolling in her thing.
Sure.
God, this is a bad idea.
But if she's like a prophet and has some powers or something, then it may be she's not really ready to be useful in that way.
Well, I mean, first of all, how often will a profit come up in the thing? I'm putting profit in
I don't know.
as the thing, but
Let's take a second and pause and just say, how does the experience work such that she could eventually become an
oh,
actual asset?
all you really so what I would need to do, there's a couple different things. There's a couple different ways I could do it. I could get her I could take her as a companion, and she's got there's it's a separate asset card kind of thing. Alternately, once she became a this would be a much longer term thing. Once she became a actually here, let me look at the thing. So if I go to assets and I'm just gonna browse through the asset thing. One of the ones that you can do is sidekick is the one. Your sidekick has helpful expertise. When you make a move out of a fight directly aided by their expertise, you can re-roll your if you make a move outside of a fight that's directly aided by whatever their expertise is. So they don't give you a bonus. You can re-roll your action die if the value of your action die is less than your sidekick's health, and their health is like a 4. So you get some re-rolls, and they can be pretty potent, but it's got to be when this matters, which is great for something like Profit, because maybe.
Right. Yeah, it's less that you want this thing to be a combat asset and more that it's along to be a story asset.
And it's in this case, it's not a combat asset because it specifically mentions it doesn't affect fights. It's for when you're not in a fight. If you then score a strong hit with a match, mark a tick on your Bond's legacy track. You can do the enter a fray with the support of your Sonic and turn them into it, but it takes more oomph, right? There's another one that basically lets you turn the companion into like a crew member on the ship. Not a companion, but a contact into a crew member on a ship, but it's a different. Is it under deeds? No, it's not that. I can't remember. We'll have to go and find it. The thing is, it's part of the Sundered Isles thing to be able to turn like this content. And I'm not sure if it's in the regular. I'm not sure if it shows up in the regular Starforged stuff or not. If I got to import it or something. But it's fine. She can be a companion and just be a companion on the ship, or not a companion, a contact on the ship. I'm just not going to roll into her very much with using her as the bonus or anything like that. I'll try to keep it under down to a down to a certain, because you're not really otherwise you're just getting the benefit of the other asset. And I like her as a companion. I like that as a companion type of thing, or the sidekick thing. And what do I need? I need 3 XP, and every time you fill one of these boxes in, you get 2.
Okay.
So basically, I just need to close off a couple of bonds or quests or anything like that, and they should they kind of come from anywhere. So it's just a matter of like closing some stuff off and getting that to close in. It'll probably tick over the next couple of sessions or something. We'll have enough to kind of lock her in. In the meantime, she can sit there doing what she's doing. That's part of it. I think as soon as I go Profit, now that doesn't mean that Tycoon couldn't use her, couldn't hide her or anything like that. But if she stays on Pinnacle with that kind of a thing, the circle is not going to leave her alone. Flat out.
Exactly.
So,
and you don't know why, but you can tell from the look in their face that they're really mad. They have so much power on the station that you could just tell from the things that were not said that, like you said, they were not going to leave her alone.
Yeah, there's so getting her off this station is kind of the only option. Fucking Profit. This goddamn game. All right. Right. Desperate and a need for power. Didn't we say that? Wasn't that the other part of the little thing?
Well, that she was trying to seize power.
Seize power. Probably over herself.
Well, yeah. Actually, that's true. That's a good point.
Could easily have been that exactly. Lordy. Okay. So when she comes out over her shoulder.
No, you can. She's like literally trying to
just not looking.
Not even looking up. Yeah.
That's really funny, honestly. I'm still kind of reeling and processing from that whole thing. That's kind of wild. I will honestly just offer her, take whatever little suitcase or valise or whatever that she's actually got there that has anything in it, and take that in the one hand and offer my arm with the other. And
she takes it gratefully and firmly.
Well, all right then.
And you never imagined that she would be so excited to be with you or to see you, but you can tell that it's not just the desperation. There's something else, like maybe your revelation about your partner and all that, and has her seeing you in a different light.
I think that's fair. And I'm chuckling at one point, and if I catch her looking or just smirking a little bit or something like that, I have to admit that I have never been the sort of person who fantasized of one day walking the promenade of the station with the prettiest girl on the station. It's never, you'll understand, really appealed to me directly. But I must say, it's quite nice. I do appreciate it now, and I can understand.
She definitely blushes and pats your arm and says, just she kind of looks straight ahead and just kind of you get this vibe of like, this is all fine to discuss once we're not on the station.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It's possible I'm trying to butter you up a bit before you see the ship that we're going to be going on. And yes, you will have to come. I apologize. I was not able to find anybody who was really looking for someone to fill a position of your particular skills on this station. I don't think that would be. And honestly, I think we've had enough of this station for a time. Wouldn't you agree?
I would agree. I would very, very much agree. And as you turn the corner, you see Honora is ripping around the corner toward trying to find, and clearly on a mission. And she sees you. And I will not try to do your very excellent accent, but she basically says,
"This is Typhoon or Tycoon."
This is Honora Hadley, the Iron Sworn lady.
Yeah, Tycoon's her call sign.
Her call sign.
Yeah.
Yes, and she's like, right. Good. Okay, fine. This is how things are supposed to be. Luckily, there's an extra berth on the ship, just like I planned it.
Excellent. Nora Hadley, previously Tycoon of the Iron Sworn. This is Cole Duval. She'll be accompanying us as advisor.
I've heard so much about you, they both say, literally simultaneously.
Which is disturbing for a number of reasons, both directions, honestly.
Yes, exactly. And they both kind of like laugh a little, like in that weird, like Jinx Yomi Soda kind of way, but also like, oh my God, that was creepy kind of way.
Yeah, that's not honestly great for anybody. All right. And I'm assuming we must be off. So we'll hurry along.
Yeah, and Tycoon presses a small envelope into your hand. She's like, once you're underway.
All right. Very well. I honestly, I won't even make that big of a deal. I'll just tuck it away and nod. Mm-hmm. This at least feels typical. Does she? What's her reaction to the ship as we come around to the glory that is Cole? I'd like to introduce you to the Hull of Icarus. Not when it's cold.
Right. Yeah, and just as you walk in, Ji-hoon is on top, and he's been trying to cut this thing off, and just like 4 pieces immediately fall to the ground on either side of the ship. And he's like, finally! And jumps down off the ship, and it's just like this horrendous cloud of dust and clang and everything else.
Oh my God.
And
I just keep that smile just tight-lipped.
And Tinker comes out from behind this, wall of screens that he's been at, and he's like, all right, I think I've got us a route planned if we want to try to beat them to the exit point. Otherwise, we're going to Paradox.
All right. Cole, Tinker, Cole.
And Tinker's just like, what?
Consultant going on the ship with the rest of
what kind of consultant?
It's many years. We should probably get on the ship and move things along. And
does Honora know about this?
Yes, we just walked in with her. She was grateful.
And she's like bustling around and like trying to clear up that extra stuff. And she's like trying to get people out here. They're launching in 15 minutes.
Conveniently, we have another bunk, so that'll be just fine.
Oh, yeah. I wondered about that. I was going to fill it with some extra fuel cells, but I guess I'm not going to do that now.
I'm sorry to make you, this is Cole. I'm sorry to make you uncomfortable or trouble with your packing. Maybe you can still stack them up in the corner. I don't need much room.
No, it's fine. I'll just put the fuel cells in the storage hatches underneath. I was just going to fill those with more mushrooms. We don't need the mushrooms on this trip, so it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
All right. If you need help moving or anything, I don't need much room. I've been in a circle.
But there's like a whole bunch of people just like moving stuff in and out and up and down gangplanks and hauling away chunks of stuff.
I've been in a circle of Ember Cell for years. I don't need a lot of room. Although I would like it if the room had 4 whole walls on it. Is this gonna fly without exploding?
And Ji-hoon's like, the hole in the side is a feature.
That's fine. That's going to be great. It's going to be great. I'm sure of it. Okay. Let's go in. We'll get you situated. And we ready? The feet are
And
all the features
you
ready?
hear yeah, you hear Tinker's running over and grabbing his giant fold out computer screen array thing and like folding in this crazy origami thing that eventually ends up in like a large rolling suitcase. And
Oops,
as
I
he's
didn't mean to
doing
do
that,
that.
you hear him mutter under his breath, "Know about this."
I am going to try while we're actually you should do this. Because I've been rolling and I think it's probably your turn for this. But what we should definitely do, definitely do, before we head out is resupply.
Ooh, yeah, let's do it.
Because that would be really good considering bolster your readiness and vision. I mean, the opportunity I think is pretty straightforward. We are literally trying to stock the ship up with whatever we
Yep.
got. Barter or make an appeal, roll heart, threaten or seize. No, I mean, honestly, roll whatever is most beneficial. Ooh, 6 versus an 8 and a 6.
I have 10 momentum.
Ooh, I would burn the momentum for this because I don't want to miss. That's even worse. All right.
Ooh, that eats a lot of momentum
It
though.
does. It really does. But it turns it into a strong hit, which is pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
it's very good. And if you can turn a miss into a strong hit, that's when the momentum I think it's really at its best.
Yeah,
If you are
sure.
unprepared, clear. So unprepared is this really crappy one where you're out of. You get it when your supply goes really low, and it resets your momentum reset stuff on top of that. But we're not that. Clear the impact, take +1 supply. Otherwise, take +2 supply. So, bottom line, we just take we take the +2 supply, which gets us up to that 4, which is pretty good. Starforged gear signet. I kind of like. I mean, maybe that's an additional thing where Tycoon comes up and and when you meet Iron Sworn in the next sector, give them this. They will know then what they will know the significance of what this means.
Right, and it's sort of like another Ironsworn thing that's like not the sword, but it's the token, if you will.
The token of it.
Um, did you ever read the Keith Laumer Retief books?
Oh,
They would, from the 70s.
Ages ago.
Yeah, there's a whole thing. The best of those stories is this one where he ends up on this planet, and they're like, "Well, if you're going to do that, you would have to produce these documents." And he's like, "Yes, I have them." And then you'd have to produce these documents, and he's like, "Yes, I have them." And all this, and finally they're like, "Well, you have forged all those things, and we will prove it." And they're like, "Wait, no, they're real." He's like, "Yes, I am actually the heir to the throne of this planet." It's over.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. Okay, so ship's getting ready, getting time to get on board. Tycoon comes up and says, Iron Sworn, present your blades. And
Ding.
we need to do our actual, swear the vow for this next thing that we're gonna do.
Right.
So this is gonna be quest move, swear an iron vow. When you swear an iron vow to complete a quest, write your vow and give it a rank. Now I wonder, before we put it on our character sheets here, can we put it on the shared? Yeah, we should probably put it on the shared sheet because this is for both of us. So on the shared sheet, there's a plus vow thing here, and I think this is I would say formidable. We don't need an extreme yet, but what do we want this to be? Establish the connection.
I think that we should.
Or
I mean, the goal is to. I think let's just start with find out what the current status of. Right?
Well, we're going to get to that pretty quick. So I think that would be one thing. They're almost two different vows. For some, it's complicated, and we've talked a little bit about what's maybe going on with the Ironsworn over there. So I want to do something where we reestablish our connection with the Ironsworn of Cobalt Reach. Because
right, I was just going to say there's a lot of multiple vows, and I was actually going to have that be what's in that envelope. Is on the surface of this, it's reestablish connection with sector.
Okay.
Her thing is no. We need to have the Ironsworn because we need the Ironsworn to back us up here, and so it's really your HAL 9000 vow is reconnect with the Ironsworn.
Okay, in that case, we'll do two here. So we'll do the dangerous vow. And the vow is this is going to be
reestablish. Or whatever.
Chart the new. Why is this thing being weird? New route to Cobalt Reach. Leave that one as dangerous. That's fine. And then when we get on the ship and we get this other one, we're basically having a vow handed to us, and we can roll that one as well. Okay. So chart a new route to Cobalt Reach, and if you don't if do you mind if I roll this one?
Go for it.
All right. When you swear an Iron Vow to complete a quest. Okay, so and I have a few bonuses here. You're bound when you swear. You can re-roll any dice on a tick, on a hit, mark tick on your bond's legacy track, and when you swear an Iron Vow to resolve a dispute, negotiate together support. I'm not doing that yet, so we're just going to do the one thing. So that at least lets me do a re-roll. I'm going to remember that it lets me do a re-roll this time. That'll be cool. Fucking
Nice with a match, baby.
that's great. All righty. That is strong hit with a match. Double ones. On the strong hit, you are emboldened and it is clear what you must do. Take +2 momentum. Great. Love that.
So do we both take the +2 momentum? How does that work?
I think yes, since we're both taking on the
We're
quest.
both doing the bound.
We're both doing the quest, so yeah, let's do that. Shared sheet, charting your route to Cobalt Reach, notes, signet, blah blah blah, envelope. Okay, cool. And then I think so with the oracles, I'm just looking at a couple possible things for like, because one of the things for me is it's difficult to kind of think of good things that happen sometimes with these positive when you get the miss of the match. Like, what is the positive plot twist?
I think we should just write that down. The enemy turns against their master, and we will see what it means when it comes up.
Okay.
It will reveal itself.
Okay, somewhere on this. So I'm going to put it as part of the. Well, we'll put it in the notes. Somehow, reach ours turned against their master to our benefit. Ooh, EBD. That's happened somewhere. So we've got that chart. I think with the strong hit, you're emboldened. It's clear what you must do next. Take +2. All right. Well, it's time to get on the ship, if nothing else. So let's. I think we've put things off long enough. I think it's kind of. This is an interesting thing. You get a moment where I'm swearing the vow, and I've actually got somebody watching me do this who actually gives a crap about me as something other than Iron Sworn for the first time. And it's almost kind of like it makes me a little self-conscious, but also kind of like it's kind of cool doing it in front of my kid. Like that's
well, and so I mean, like, and I'm there doing it with my weird like laser sword.
Yeah,
and of course,
just the sheer yeah. I think that there's having an audience is kind of an interesting thing.
Well, and with your mentor there, Tycoon is and my mentor for sure.
Your mentor and my mentors in different ways, but still mentors. Yeah,
and
this is a special
her doing
moment.
it, and like we're basically like three musketeersing it, and then something weird happens in the air, and it like clicks harder than it's ever clicked for us before. Dice have shown it to be true, and I think that Cole is like,
you know what I think happens? I think that this happens, and then the silence right after, where we have this moment of like going, the hell. Cole says, an enemy of yours has turned against their master to your benefit.
Yeah.
And we look, and her eyes are like black.
Yes.
Like no whites. Yes. The sclera has gone black. And I'll say, I'm sorry. And she'll kind of blink once and like, what? And there's our first little, taste of that. All right. First of all, that's fucking cool. I got goosebumps. That's good stuff right there.
Absolutely.
All right, that we took a lot more time on Pinnacle Station than I thought we would. We should get in here and get rolling with this thing. Man, it's too bad about your momentum getting burned up on the other one, because we could have used it for this first jump, but I guess instead we will not. And now begins what I like to refer to as the dying horse falling through the Plinko machine of trying to navigate unknown space. Are you familiar with that video? Have you ever seen that?
No.
Some guy decided to do like ragdoll physics by taking a model of a horse and letting it fall through the various pegs of a Plinko machine. Was it Pachinko machine? Plinko machine? Whatever it is.
Well, it's Plinko from Price is Right.
Yeah, but all the pegs, and it just kind of slides off of each one. And then somebody, of course, on Tumblr took that, made it into a GIF, and put flames at the bottom. So but bouncing around and trying to dodge through all the stuff, there's just sort of that Pachinko, dropping ball through the pegs kind of feeling to this sometimes when you're trying to navigate what is generally not always very space does not cooperate. Let's put it that way. Anyway.
Well, I do think that our resupply with me turning it into a strong hit, we did get that. I mean, our roll for the signet.
It will
But I
help
do
for
think that
sure.
we should definitely keep that in mind for the role.
Well, and the nice thing or the interesting about that is because of the role that we're doing, we don't have to rely on supply this time, which is probably a good thing. But
Mm.
it's certainly something that can help us out in the future. There are things with the supply on the ship. Now we actually have our proper ship, which is great. And I should probably the integrity. So the other thing that's going to be important going forward is the integrity stat on the ship, which is over on the actual Fall of Icarus. Have you ever seen that? The not what I'm called meme.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
you
that's not
know,
my name or whatever.
syphilis, not what I'm called, as they're pointing at the guy pushing the rock up the hill, that kind of thing. Fall of Icarus, not the name, actual name.
Yeah. Cole walks by, and the picture I put in for Jihoon is he's just got this welding mask on at all times, and so like no one actually knows what he looks like. And she just kind of says, "If the Fall of Icarus isn't the name, what is the name?" And then every time he starts to say what the name is, like someone starts like welding or like hammering something or whatever.
Yeah.
You never actually hear it.
Well, we never hear it. She does, and you see her face like, oh no. Anyway. I like the picture of Jihan, like you say, like he's just bent over something with doing welding. We don't even know what he looks like. Great stuff. Okay, alrighty. So the Fall of Icarus, integrity is a 5. That's good. We'll definitely want to knock that number down as we go. The adventure move, nope. Exploration move. The ship pulls away from Pinnacle Station. I mean, there's so much going on with this thing. There's probably a few more pieces falling off of it as it goes. Like the last couple things being vibrated loose. Because the problem is the engines are big. Like they're not weak.
Right.
So there's probably a couple of last minute admonitions like don't really open it up. I'm not entirely sure the engines won't tear themselves loose off the back. It's like, what will happen? Yeah. Well, the engines could tear themselves loose off the back of the hull, but don't worry. I mean, if that happens, you're going to vent atmo through the back of the ship, and you'll probably all die. Right. I'm not sure that the emergency bulkheads will actually go into place in that situation because the sensors would be from the other ship's engine pod. So I don't know if they're going to send the signal that there's been a breach in time for the doors to. You'll figure it out, I'm sure, or just don't do that. Exploration. Do you want to roll this, or should I roll this? Undertake an expedition.
I don't know. What's the stat?
Well, it depends. So undertake when you trailblaze a route through perilous space, or journey over hazardous terrain, or survey. We're not doing any of those things. Give an expedition a name and a rank. That's right. We need this as a progress chart now. So this one is a progress chart to.
Right. So we're trying to get to the waypoint to Cobalt Reach.
And it's going to be difficult, and we're doing get to the waypoint to Cobalt Reach. That's pretty much it. When you trailblaze route, blah, blah, blah. When you're moving at speed, you roll plus edge. If you're trying to keep under the radar, roll plus shadow. If you're trying to stay vigilant, roll plus wits. Or put another way, be careful. If you're basically not trying to, if you're not trying to be sneaky or go fast, defaults back to wits. My wits says not that. I'm the person to.
So is this set a course or undertake an expedition?
Undertake an expedition. Set a course is when you know what the route is, and it's like a tracked, safe route. We only have 2 of those.
And do I get an ad for the resupply that we did?
The supply is what you roll when you're doing the one when it's the tracked route. So it's a different thing. It'll come up, and this is going to be funny. That will come up when we actually do the jump to Cobalt Reach because that's a known route. So we don't do that one in little bits and bobs. We got to get there, and then from there we can jump using not undertake an expedition, but set a course, and then the supply will matter. So we want to try to leave the supply reasonably high as we're going because we'll need it when we get down there because that's when the long jump happens.
Any other ads that I should be aware of? Like, do I have a legacy or something that would apply?
As far as I know, we don't have any assets or anything like that, so we're just going with what we have, and and your momentum's probably only not quite getting there yet, but 4. It'll push off the really bad rolls. Oh, you were almost a 6. So what are we at? Yeah. What does that look like?
Waylaid by a crisis. Arrive at a waypoint to confront immediate hardship or threat.
On a miss, you are waylaid. Okay. Immediate hardship. Pay the price. Pay the price. Lovely. Okay, so our first jump, we pull away from the station. We get things righted up. We need a name for the captain.
Okay.
Or not the captain, the pilot.
The pilot, yeah.
Who's the poor bastard that pulled the Karthik? Karthik car?
Yeah. I'll
Grudge.
sign Grudge. Nice.
Friends call me Grudge. That's that. There's so many questions there, and one of the main questions is, should I ask any of the other questions? Karthik Car. That's a name right there. What did the parents think about that guy? Oh, I didn't mean to roll twice. The environment or terrain introduces a new hazard. Waylaid by a crisis, arrive at a waypoint to confront an immediate hardship or threat. Don't mark progress. Okay, that's an Ask Oracle thing, but I don't need to. Oh, you're looking to. That's great. Yes. So getting to a place, dense nebula cloud.
Like, I mean, I don't know. I'm guessing that we got waylaid by something. And
yeah, right. Using the oracles for the space location is a really good thing to be doing at this point in time. Honestly, space encounter oracles. Yeah. What did you roll on? The cosmic matter?
Yeah, this is in the Waypoints update by Sean Tompkin, Waypoint Oracles.
Oh yeah. That's good stuff. Now, is that a different? Let me look at that real quick. That's actually really.
I used the cosmic matter one. Now, we could do an actual spacefaring waypoints one, but I didn't know.
Well, so what you do. So we kind of jumped to cosmic matter, but let's just put a pin in that. It's not in a good order here. So what you would do is say spacefaring waypoints is it Outlands is first? I always get that messed up. Yeah, it's Outlands is where we are. So you would roll on this one first of the spacefaring waypoints, and then you get stellar object, and then look at the then you roll on the stellar object thing just to see, so it tells you smaller. But I like the dark nebula first, the really dark nebula first.
Yeah.
There is a nebula or there's an area of space that is so absent of any matter that if you were in the middle of it, any light from any of the nearest stars would take something like 7 million years to get to you, or something like that. Like nothing is close. But there's also if you're down inside of nebula, it's a dark nebula. You're not getting any light. Like you jumped and there's no stars. Like, did we die?
Right.
Because
our sensors broke.
There's no stars. So okay. So I think looking at the time on the thing is leaving us in a. So yeah, first thing, dense nebula cloud. I love it, and even putting it out let's even put it out a little bit further. But God, I love that. So the first jump, and I'm not even up on the bridge. I'm not really paying any attention to this stuff. We're like in the ready in the galley. Cole's there. I'm kind of watching her face as we do as the drift, because the drift is not
she's definitely in this sort of like super excited but also super shell shocked.
Yeah, drift is not really an instantaneous thing. This one's a little bit shorter. Oh, that's interesting. That's a little bit shorter. It's only a few hours. And you seem fine. Most people are fine. The drift is not.
And then you hear this shout from me on the bridge. Well, that wasn't supposed to be there.
If you'll just excuse,
everything all right?
I don't know. Why don't you just come along? Are we preparing for our next jump? I haven't heard any proximity alarms, so I know that we're not about to hit something or be shot by something. Probably, unless the ship's sensors, unless the alarms don't work, which would be great. I think the challenge is.
Yeah, I've unfolded like half my screens in some other configuration, and I'm staring at this, and I'm like, oh, this is a classic sort of absence of something doesn't mean absence of something kind of situation.
I'm not sure what that means. Where are we?
Well, basically, I thought this was empty space, but it turns out it's so full of shit that it reads as empty space. Luckily, what it's full of is just gas, so we're fine, but we can't fly through this directly. We're going to have to go at regular engine speed. Luckily, we've got some big-ass engines.
Where are the stars?
It's like we're in pea soup fog here.
So you can't actually calibrate for another jump.
Nope, we're going to have to get out of this cloud, which means we're going to have to run the main engines and get the other side of it first.
So
we can still make up the time, though. I'm calculating a different kind of jump.
But we're going to have to go full out.
Yep.
Okay. So
remember that thing he said don't do?
I do. How much fuel is this gonna And Grudge is like, oh, all of it, most of it anyway.
That's all right. I filled all of the compartments that were supposed to have mushrooms with extra fuel.
All right. And before he hits us, he's like got his hand over it and he looks back. He's like, you should probably sit down wait, have you ever been on a quad jumper? No. Oh, you better sit down then. Because the back half of this is quad jumper.
Yeah, and Carrie's got like these two handles that come out of the side of the walls that he grabs onto.
Suddenly the gravity is coming from the back of the ship instead of the floor of the ship.
Yeah.
That's great. So I think the hit on this is that we actually take like about a 2-hit supply hit again.
Yeah.
Because we just burn through a bunch of
extra fuel.
Yeah. As we churn through all of this stuff and get to some place where we can see stars. Any kind of stellar thing to do an actual normal jump.
All right, I've got 1 star. We need 3 to plot. Come on.
3 hours later, finally.
Yeah.
I mean, Eidolon jumps, they typically the Eidolon jumps will take hours to days kind of thing. There, you're in the jump for a bit. It's not like so that's fine. But yeah, just the fact that we have to use so much conventional fuel and everything like that to do this in any kind of speed. But we're basically sitting at like 4 Gs for hours, which is just fucking miserable,
Right. All right, I got a 3rd star. Kill the engines. And everybody just like starts massaging their arms where they were holding on, and like
they have a thing that they do in because they don't have artificial gravity in the Expanse books at all. So all the ships are built on they're all built like Wizard's Towers. So you're either accelerating or you flip around and you're decelerating. And if you're in combat, you're free floating because whatever. And they got to do G's for for any kind of maneuvers at all is going to involve a lot of G's. When they get up to around 12 to 20 G's, you always hear the pilot say, "All right, here comes the juice." And this white milky substance flows up through tubes into the back of the chairs that they're being pressed into, and just as they get like the don't stroke out juice pumped into their veins.
Yeah, like for fighter pilots, it's their suits squeeze their legs to keep the blood in their upper half.
Yeah, it's crazy. Okay, one more. Let's do one more before the ending, just to see where we end up. And
I rolled terrible last time, so it's your time to run the.
All right. Well, let's see if we can't make up a little bit of time. Let's go for. And I'm looking at your charts and stuff. Well, I see where you're going with this, but let's try this one. It looks like it's a little bit of a straighter jump. Let's see if we can pick up a little bit of lost time. And I'm going to roll with Edge for this.
40% probability. Could be worse.
Could be better. All right. So back to the exploration moves. Undertake that expedition. Make that roll. Going with Edge. My whopping big 5 momentum. Ah, damn it. Wait, I can burn momentum to a weak hit.
Yeah.
Because the thing that sucks, if you'll notice, on the miss, do not mark progress. So we haven't actually gotten any closer to the end of this thing. So we're actually
because the reason that you can do that burn momentum is because it's 1 versus 3, right?
Yeah, and my see, my momentum was sitting at a 4 or something like that, so it was enough to turn my roll functionally into a 4, which means that instead of it being 3 and 6, so I still beat the 3. So on a weak hit, you reach a waypoint, but this progress costs you. Envision the location and mark your progress per the rank of the expedition, but choose one, suffer costs en route, or face a peril. So I
think we want to face peril. Peril.
So back to we're going to go back to Sean's stuff. We'll go to waypoint oracles. We'll do the spacefaring waypoints of the Outlands. Interlude scene, but it's going to be one that is a peril. That's terrifying. Let's do an interlude scene. Not alone, among others. Indulge a vice. What weakness do you need to indulge? What worry or memory are you distracting yourself from? All right, I might have to think about this.
I think since we're about to stop, that's probably fine.
Yeah. Because I want to make it a thing that's challenging that we can't get past, or alternately, we get the interlude scene and then in the middle of it, it's interrupted by some other bad thing happening.
Well, maybe whatever you're doing during it.
Yeah. Practice a skill, ready your gear, record a message, reinvent your look, stay vigilant. This is all like stuff you can do, but I'm not sure. Creature, space. Oh, is that you rolled the thing again? What do you get
Yeah,
interrupted
so I
by?
guess we
Yeah.
did interlude scene. What we're interrupted by. I think creature space sounds good to me.
So if you go up to the space encounters, there's precursor
So
creature.
there's a whole creature oracles section.
Yeah, there are.
858. So
Biotech.
it's biotech and amorphous elemental.
We already established space. Scale. Huge whale sized. Love a space whale. Amorphous biotech. That is terrifying. And the encountered behavior. I just immediately think of one of the freaking with the
Cave fishers from D&D.
Well, no, the fish
like
with
the
angler fish. Not that, but possibly that. I love. Okay, all right. Yeah, we'll do. So I want to think some more about the Vice thing because I'm not sure what that looks like. But I think that there's a good scene there where we're on the now that we're in the rhythm of the long trip. Having Cole walk into one of us, engaging in what is perfectly normal spacer behavior at this point in time. Like, it's the second jump. This is where we do shots, or you know what I mean? Like instead
of playing space chess, like on Star Wars, we're playing some sort of hideous space Gao or something.
Yeah, something. But yeah, something with anglerfish, yeah, or yeah, amorphous blobby. I picture like a jellyfish that's so big that you like, and with some glowing bits in it, so you kind of mistake it for stars or something like that. But but the biotech.
I love the idea that I was waiting for the 3 stars to do my jump, but one of the stars was actually its little glowing thing, and so it sucked us off course.
It's on the ship now. Like not on in, but literally on the ship.
Yeah.
Just before the jump happens, one of the pilot goes, "Hey, that's weird," and then it's the
Did
last
that star move?
Did that star just move? All right. Yeah. So you can see when you're doing the uncharted jumps, you're filling in a lot of space.
Yeah.
There's a lot happening there. At which point in time you start going, okay, well, let's jump back. Where do we need to hide? That dense nebula cloud, man. No one's gonna find us in there. You're like,
right?
Do we have a route back to that? Yeah, basically, kind of, sure, probably. Anyway, yeah, cool. All right. I was not expecting my daughter to come with me. This is supposed to be a nice little heartfelt thing. Great, thanks. See you later. Bye. Connection. Probably never be able to build that up again. What do you mean you're coming with me and you're a fucking prophet?
And by the way, maybe this is a good time right before you indulge in your vice. You get back to your cabin and you're sitting down and you decide to open the note from Monarch.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like this.
Oh, we have a note somewhere?
Put it in my game. I put it in the game chat.
Okay. Where's the game chat? Oh, in the game chat. Looking in the game chat. Where am I? Oh, there we go. All right. Monarch. Sister M of the COE. Circle of Embers is poised to depose the Ironsworn entirely from Pinnacle. You must reconnect with the Ironsworn of Cobalt Reach. I don't need to tell you why. Hi. Okay. So our last bit then. Do you have 3 more minutes?
Yep.
For a bad roll. All right. Our last bit then is I pull you in, call you in. We get the I show you the note, and we pull out our swords and pull out the blades and swear the oath.
Yep.
Okay, so this one's going to be, I always do this and I get in the wrong thing. Vow, formidable, reconnect to the Ironsworn of Cobalt Reach. And I'm going to get over that note again. Can I copy that? I'm going to paste it right into that note. My assets, let me re-roll any rolls. I can reroll, and Diplomat gives me a +1 because this is like, I think, negotiate agreement, gather support. So we'll go with that. So I at least get a +1 on that. So back in here to the quest moves, swear the Iron Vow, hit the thing. That's with heart. Got the 1. We're gonna remember I could potentially reroll dice. That's 6.
Well, there's a 6.
Oh, but the 9.
Strong hit.
Still a strong hit.
Yeah, just not a match, though.
Yeah, just not a match, but I'll take it. On a strong hit, you are emboldened. It's clear what you need to do. We can both mark momentum. Take that for nothing. Clear what you must do. Take a +2 momentum. Well, it is clear what we must do. We need to find the Ironsworn when we get to the thing.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So this was really kind of even sworn in the privacy of our own suite, like no witnesses on this one.
And I look at you and I'm like, that explains why we didn't get that communication. And I show you the records that show that clearly someone from the Circle of Embers deleted all those communications that were supposed to get to us.
She wanted to get away, just for the record. That's my daughter. She wanted to get away from them. She's not with them.
Oh, your daughter.
Oh.
That makes a lot more sense.
I wasn't
When you
bringing
said
along.
consultant from the Circle of Embers, they usually consult on one specific thing, primarily.
Oh,
She looks a
no,
little
God,
young
no.
and
No,
female for you.
no. I'm not even. No.
You might have been a little more clear, that's all I'm saying.
I didn't. I'll be honest, it didn't occur to me.
Yeah, it didn't occur to me either, except it totally did.
I didn't. Yes, I could see how it would. That would make a lot, like the fact that it's just the idea of the thing is, the Circle of Embers has been a fucking thorn in his side for so long. Like this like stress reaction whenever the name's mentioned, kind of anxiety spike, and also the sisters, at least the part that are part of the Circle of Embers, not a draw for him. That it literally didn't occur to him to even think of that.
Well, and I think that Kiri has just sort of like stayed really far away from politics as much as possible.
Yeah. Sure.
And in fact, when he got pulled into it as part of the engineering thing, is why he just quit engineering entirely and decided to be a pearl diver.
But again, hanging out with those kinds of folks, the pearl divers, and hanging out with the engineers, the more common role of the Embers would be the first thing that he thinks of.
Exactly. And that's why when you said consultant from the Circle of Embers, I'm like, okay.
The best thing about that is it totally didn't occur to me either. I didn't even get that was like what was happening. So that's perfect. So I was simply reassuring you that she's not like a Circle spy.
Right. Okay. That's good. But she's not like in that, because she's not old enough, right? Don't they have to be age majority to actually join the?
She asked for my help in getting away before that happened. They had a vested interest in trying to keep her. She's gifted.
Creepy?
Well, you saw what happened.
Real creepy. Yeah, black eyes.
Yeah. They could have a use. They have a use for that. I simply wanted to keep her clear of that. So along she came. We'll try to keep her as safe as possible.
Maybe she can tell us how to navigate without running into all this other junk that we keep running into.
Man, I don't want to put too much stress on her, but maybe she'll be maybe the opportunity will present itself. I need a drink. Do you need a drink?
I sure as hell do.
Right. And that we'll get to our Vice thing at that. Oh, I love the idea of like, you got the sort of like the Riker suite, with the table and whatever. And she comes in, like she knocks the doors open. We're both in there just like, forget that. It's actually the Battlestar Galactica, like Adama and the XO, like just sitting there like downing shots with their command jackets unbuttoned,
Right.
kind of thing. Anyway, yeah, that'll be a great second impression with the daughter. That sounds awesome. Anyway, all right, awesome, good stuff. Not with a, well, I don't. You would think as much as I played this goddamn game, I wouldn't be surprised by it surprising me, and yet